and we'll do the same in return. And when we share our vulnerabilities and our weaknesses with one another, we are strengthening each other as well. And then that is when God will show up, and he will do what he needs to do to turn all those things that he said no to into yeses. But you have to trust him and make the first move and start taking the risks that you need to take, and stop doing it all by yourself, and understand that at the end of everything, God is in control and he's got you. But you have to let him, because he's not going to force it on you. That's why we have free will, right? We have the right to choose. We choose or not to follow God, to listen, and to accept his love and what he has for our lives. That's our choice. I know what I choose. What you choose is up to you. Okay? So thank you. I appreciate you. I hope that helps you in some way. I hope that it was able to help you to think of some things that you may be holding on to, that you need to let go of, because your destiny is calling, darling. What you waiting for? What you waiting for? Get up and do that thing that scares you the most, because that thing that scares you the most is going to turn you into a superstar. It is. So, don't worry, because God didn't give us the spirit of fear or worry. Okay? So don't worry, because he's got you. So thank you. I appreciate you. Like I said, this is a jam-packed show today. So this segment will be followed by a little bit of a song interlude, and then we're going to go on to the next segment, and that's going to be talking about angels and demons, and that's a part of my story with domestic violence as a domestic violence survivor. And then after that, we're going to do a little wrap up of all the things to look out for those of you who are fighting through this struggle or know someone who is. And then we're going to have a amazing gospel and soul playlist, okay? And there will be one call, and that is to remind you all about our amazing sister friend, Sister Tanika Drake. I'll be playing that call because her event is coming up, I believe. It is coming up, and it's just a reminder to let you know about that event, which is coming up, in 3 days. All right? So thank you. Take care of you. Take care of yours. I'll leave you with a few seconds of this song, and then we're going right on into the next segment. And that will be all that you will hear for the rest of the day. All right? I appreciate you. Love, love, and blessings, okay? Take care of you. Take care of yours. This is... Okay, my beloveds. This is Terrell T-Rex Simon, and this is called In His Image. Enjoy this, and we'll move on. Thank you. Take care of you. Have a beautiful, beautiful, and blissfully blessed day. Over the earth, so I'm living like I own the air that I breathe, like I own the fish in the sea, and it's my responsibility to show that with God I can do anything. He made me in his image. He made me in his image. He made me in his image. So I believe I can do anything. God made, he made me in his image. He made me in his image. Oh, he made me in his image. He made. So I believe I can do anything. First thing I gotta do in the morning, so I don't catch myself slipping. Stand still, let go, let God. Then I'm living like I own the air
responsibility to show that with God I can do anything. He made, he made, he made, he made, he made, he made, he made me in his image.
Okay, my beloved, don't forget, you are a descendant of the throne. So get out there, get your crown, put it on, and get out there. All right? Life is waiting for you. So is your destiny. Thank you. Okay, my beloveds, let's get into it. So, like I said, I was scrolling through some of my social media pages as I usually do my updates on Saturdays. And I was very surprised at the reactions that I came across. Just to give you a little bit of overview for those of you who are new to my station, I am a rape survivor, I'm a domestic violence survivor, and I survived child molestation as well. I had been overhearing information about the reactions to the whole documentary that was done, and I believe they've been repeating it. So if you haven't seen it and you're interested, you can check it out. I lived my own real life story as well about being controlled by a man who appears to be one thing and then turns out to be something else. I was very young. I was about 14 and a half when I met him. He told me that he was 18 years old and he pursued me hard. And he pursued me because he thought that I was an angel and I was his princess, and he wanted to change my life. And my home was not the best. It was very dysfunctional. There was a lot of things that was going on at home that was just detrimental to the safety of me and my siblings. So I was busy trying to find ways to get out. And when this man came along, and I think, again, I thought he was young. So when he came along and he said that he was going to be able to help, I thought, okay, well, he's a little older. He's not that old, so it's okay. Wrong. I found out months into the relationship that he was actually in his 20s. And this was after him convincing me and pursuing me and telling me that he was young, that he was in love with me, and that we were going to have this big, beautiful life together, and he was going to take me and my siblings away to a place where we could be safe. Right? Again, all lies. And he went through this process of, he started asking a whole bunch of different questions about who I was and how many boyfriends I had and all this kind of stuff. He was obsessed with that because he was looking for someone that he wanted to be attached to, because in his mind, he needed to be with somebody that who he felt was quote unquote pure. So he did enough digging to find out that I was actually raped at the age of 11. A story I did not tell him because when things happen to you, you don't tell everybody, especially when it's something new and it's a new relationship. And I don't really know nothing about relationships at that age. So I didn't want to tell him something I was ashamed of. So I said, okay, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to just wait. But it was too late. Someone else had already told him. It flipped him from treating me like a princess, taking me out, doing nice things for me, saying sweet things to me, to him turning into some type of uncontrollable monster. I was taken away from my home, told to be going with him somewhere for dinner, and then never being allowed to return home. If I was to tried to go home. He threatened to hurt my family, hurt my mother, hurt my siblings. And so I was never allowed to go home. He held me a captive prisoner. He took me everywhere. I wasn't even allowed to be alone by myself. He took me everywhere he had to go. He had me dressed like a boy. He cut off all my hair, just like one of the young women in that documentary. He cut off all my hair, dressed me like a boy, and he did that because he wanted to disguise me, because he knew that at that point the police was looking for me. I had been gone for about maybe 4 or 5 months by then, and the police was looking for me hard, and they were not able to find me because he was always taking me somewhere. We never stayed in one place for too long. So he was always dragging me from one place to another. The more I complained, the more he would beat me. The more I would resist his sexual advances, the more that I would scream out about how I wanted to go home, how I just wanted to get away. I would not say anything. I wasn't going to tell anybody. If he would just let me go, he said that I owed him my life because I lied to him, because he thought that I was pure. He was twisted. There was something wrong with this man. And I found out by someone else who came to visit us one day that he was actually in his 20s. He preyed on my young insecurities and immaturity in a way that I was not aware of. I would not have been aware of, because that had never happened to me before. And so I believed the stuff that he told me, because why wouldn't I? I thought at that time this was a loving boyfriend who was going to protect me and my siblings. And so therefore, there was no reason for me not to believe anything that he said. It wasn't until we got further into the relationship, after he started realizing that I wasn't who he thought I was. He felt like it was a malicious attack against him, and that I set him up, and he was going to make me pay. He was going to fix me, he said. So I was called all kinds of names. I was denied food. I was denied water. I was denied proper clothing. I couldn't do my own hygiene. He would either wash me up or told me how to wash up. He would bring women in and out of the house. He would use these double locks for the keys to go in and out of the apartment. So he always had a key, and I never would be able to leave, because if you have to lock the door from the inside, you would need the key to get out. So yeah, I was always locked up in there. I could not go anywhere. I had to ask him for permission for pretty much everything. Everything. The only thing that I was allowed to do was go from room to room within the apartments that we were in. So it got to the point where he started not having any money. So we had to live in abandoned buildings. Wretched situations that I had to deal with. Some buildings had no water. Some buildings had no heat. And when I joke now about how we have no heat and no gas and that kind of thing. And yeah, I've gotten so used to that type of stuff that now it is a joke, because I know how to live through it, because I went through it before at such a young age. I was supposed to turn a blind eye and close my ears to him having sex in our home with other women. And if they did not please him, he would beat them, and I would have to overhear their screams. When I tried to go and get help, again, the doors locked. I could not get any help for them. If I threatened to say anything, I was not only being beat. And when I say being beat, it was not just by belts or an open hand or even a closed fist, which was also some of the beatings that I got. I was beat with cast iron frying pans. I was beat with steel pipes. I had blood clots in parts of my body, bruises in places I won't even mention.